used to think that books are not a real hobby, but thank God I don't think that anymore. There are very few things in life that make me as happy as reading does, or honestly just being around books. And that's why I love going to used bookstores so much, to discover new titles, to stumble upon books that I've been meaning to read but couldn't find anywhere, to spot titles I've read years, if not decades ago, in a different country, in a different language, in a completely different life, frankly. Hi guys! I hope you're all doing well. This very heavy pile of books is all of the books that I've been saving up for summer, and I thought that I'll talk to you about them. The first book that I've been saving up for summer is The Go-Between by L.P. Hartley, and I've already read it, so I know that it's a perfect summer read. It follows a boy who goes to his school friend's house in the year of 1900. His school friend is more rich and has this beautiful estate, and there the main character becomes the go-between, passing messages between the friend's older sister and a farmer on the estate. It's just such a beautiful story, full of regret, nostalgia, lives unlived, and also this beautiful point of view of a boy who is on the edge of adolescence, who is still a child, but we very much feel that he's soon no longer going to be one. I think that summer, with its heat, temperature, colors, sounds, lushness, is very much the peak of the year, and you realize that it's all soon going to be gone. So it has this inherent sense of nostalgia and sadness to it, and I will forever be seeking books that encapsulate this feeling. Similarly to Brideshead Revisited or A Month in the Country, some of my favorite books of all time, and I think that The Go-Between is very similar in that sense to those books as well. And then the second book I'm also reading on my Kindle right now, it's Agostino by Alberto Moravia. I think that Italian literature is a gem of its own, and Alberto Moravia is perhaps one of the most prominent figures. If you don't know, he was married to Elsa Morante. I haven't read anything by her just yet, but I really want to, because she is on the list of the writers that Elena Ferrante recommends. And as far as I understand, in general, her work has inspired Elena Ferrante's work a lot, and we all love Elena Ferrante. Anyway, I picked up Agostino because frankly, it was a book that was available in my library, and because the cover is very summer-like. I don't know if you can see that. I'm about 20 pages in, and it does answer my summer expectations in a sense that it's very much Italian summer with the heat, the sparkling sea, the boats. But the story, it follows a boy from a fairly rich family who gets acquainted with the boys from the streets, like the poor, uneducated boys. So far, I'm really intrigued to where the story will go because I have zero context. Onto the physical pile of books. Another book that I started reading is Henry and June by Anais Nin. I was saving it up for summer because it has the name June in it, and though I know that June is the name of Henry's wife, I still really wanted to read it in June. I also think that themes of love and earning work really well during summer when it's really hot and everybody's half naked. I posted this in my June TBR video, and a lot of people got really excited that I'm finally picking it up. I'm excited too, I guess, though about 46 pages in, precisely 46 pages in, I don't know if that answers my expectations very well. It follows the story of the love triangle between Anais Nin, Henry Miller, and June, who's Henry's wife. Anais's personality is very different from mine, and partly that's why we all love fiction, to get a sense of a perspective of a person who is very different from you, to live through lives and experiences of other people. So I'm interested about picking her brain a bit, but she is always maxed out. Her emotions and her feelings, and it's a diary, by the way. I did a very poor job of explaining what Henry and June is, but this is an excerpt of her real diary. The fact that she has been experiencing all of these feelings and actually wrote about them in this manner makes me wonder, how did she even go throughout her day? Because she's so emotional and she's feeling so much. I think that if I read it when I was 15 or 16, I would probably resonate with it a bit better, because I also felt like I have so many emotions that my chest will explode. I don't know if I'm fully capable of grasping all of that today. I feel like I've definitely become more reserved in my emotions. However, that's interesting. I don't know. Let's see where this goes. Again, a lot of people have recommended that to me, so I'm intrigued. The next book that I've been saving up for summer is The Feast by Margaret Kennedy. I remember that I posted a photo of this book from a bookstore saying that this is a book that I don't want to buy. And then someone said, oh my god, please go back and buy it because I've been looking for it everywhere and couldn't find it. I did not come back then, but a few months later when I saw another copy in a used bookshop, I decided to get it. It says summer 1947, so we know for sure that the events of the book are happening in the summer, and that's probably why I was saving it up. That's probably going to be my next read. I kind of forgot about it when I was posting my TBR for June, but then when I was cleaning up my bookshelves, which inspired this video, I remembered that I have this gem. Next book that I have to read this summer is In a Summer Season by Elizabeth Taylor. I love Elizabeth Taylor. I think that I've read 3 books by her. Angel, A View of the Harbor, Mrs. Palfrey and the Claremont. Yes, probably 3. I love her writing style. I think that she's a very smart writer. She's very observant. Her characters are very well drawn. Wow, I just read through the premise. To be honest, I just picked it because of the name, but hear me out. Kate Herron is a wealthy, charming widow happily married to the attractive but feckless Dermot, 10 years younger than she. Theirs is an unconventional marriage that arms them against the disapproval of conservative friends and neighbors, until the return of Kate's old friend Charles, now widowed with a beautiful daughter. 4 of them become drawn together in a common reassuring friendship, and then one night Kate has a strange sensual dream, a dream that disturbs the placid surface of their lives and foreshadows a human drama that only the sure-headed can resolve. That sounds amazing and like a perfect summer read if you and I are anything alike. Then I have Henry Miller's Tropic of Cancer. I thought that it would be a good time to pick up Henry Miller's work after I finish Anais Nin's diary. And again, I think that summer works really well for topics like earning love. Yeah, I mean, it's about 1930s Bohemian Paris. I think that it's going to be a great read for summer. Also, I didn't realize it's Henry Miller's first novel, so I'm excited. I think he's a good writer, though I do know that there's this weird concept of him being kind of like a male's writer. I don't know how I feel about that, but I think that I want to make my own judgment. Then I have short stories by Katherine Mansfield, and I didn't necessarily save it up for summer because I think that, especially with short stories, you can never really know. The reason why I want to pick it up is because this spring I've read Elizabeth von Arnim's Elizabeth and Her German Garden, and I absolutely loved it. I've read Elizabeth von Arnim's Enchanted April about 4 years ago, and absolutely loved it as well. Something about Elizabeth, the character of Elizabeth and Her German Garden, which is apparently somewhat autobiographical, just made me want to be best friends with her so badly. So I just thought that I'm very connected to Elizabeth von Arnim's personality in a way. And Katherine Mansfield, as I learned from the introduction in Elizabeth and Her German Garden book, which by the way, I always read after I read the book because there's always spoilers in it. Anyway, Katherine Mansfield was her cousin. I thought that it's a sign that I should finally pick this up. Virginia Woolf says she's jealous of her writing. That must mean something too, although I'm not a huge fan of Virginia Woolf. I think that stream of consciousness writing, and I've been saying that all the time on this channel, is not my type of writing necessarily. We've only got 2 more books left. I think that I read it. At this point, it's really hard to remember, but about 13 or 15 years ago in a Russian translation as a teenager. I want to read it as an adult and in English. I don't think this needs much introduction, but all of these summer parties, the sense of nostalgia and things ending, lives unlived, all of what I've spoke about when I talked about The Go-Between and Brideshead Revisited, that is very well encapsulated in this novel as well, as far as I remember that at least. So I'm very excited to reread it and see what I think about it as an adult. The last book that I have is the only contemporary read on my list, I think, and it's very funny because it's random that it's here. Just the other day I was walking past a neighborhood swap library, like little house that we have here in the United States. It was there and I recognized it because I've seen a lot of great reviews on another book by Lily King, and when I was looking her up, this one also came up, so I recognized the cover. I think that it's also describing the events that are happening during the summer in 1997, and there's like a company of friends involved who are all writers and lovers apparently. I frankly don't know much. Recently I've been enjoying going into the book without a lot of expectations and just discovering it for myself for the first time while I'm reading. So yeah, that's another book that I think would be a great summer read, especially if you're more into contemporary reads, which I'm not. But this one was published in 2020, so this is pre-AI, and it's also describing the events of 1997, so again, not a lot of technology. I have a short format video about this, but I've recently read a book that I didn't know until later was written with the help of AI. It had a few dialogues with the AI chatbot in it, so at first I thought that it's like natural that the author might have used AI to better understand how an AI chatbot would reply. But then I learned that the author was in general not opposed to using AI for augmenting their writing. And it's just not the reason why I love reading books and why I love reading fiction. I work in tech and I read enough of AI generated slop at work. It's not what I want to spend my free time on. I want to experience other people's lives expressed through word by a person. Is that too much to ask? Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed my list and some of the books might have interested you. Let me know if you're also going to read some of them this summer. Let's read together. And if you have any other recommendations, let me know. Hope you're having an amazing summer.